Greetings and salutations, everyone. How are we? Sorry I am late. I do apologize. I was a mess. How are you all doing this afternoon? I was this streaming platform was giving me a headache. I thought I had everything connected and set up, and I get over here and that is the furthest thing from the truth. But um how is everyone doing? I see Smoke in the chat. Tracy, thank you for coming over. So as I was saying earlier when I thought I was live, this is like my first official debut. I have been on other lives before. Sometimes I've hopped on camera when I would hop up and do my makeup, but for the most part, you guys know my voice. But I'm on YouTube now, and just a little bit of history. Hi Tarshell, hi Quintessential, hi Crazy Homebody. Thank you guys for coming over. Um, I'm on YouTube because a while ago I was told to open my mouth. That's number one. And number two, I don't really have a large network. And so this is pretty much my opportunity to reach far and reach wide to whomever may see this. I don't know how far this is going to go, how far it may travel, but it might be something interesting for somebody. Um, but as I have been thinking as of late about my career goals, what I want out of my life, and where I want to be, what I want to do, how I want to do it. And pretty much all roads were pointing towards the one avenue I did not want to go down, which was social media. Um, in my area, when it comes to wanting to network, when it comes to wanting to meet different people, different backgrounds, unless you're talking about military, you don't have that option. Um, and then the industry that's around me, it does not support. um, the industry that I'm in, it does not support. The industry I'm around does not support what I do. I'm not in education. I'm not in healthcare. I don't want to be in education. I don't want to be in healthcare. I'm an artist. That's essentially what I am and what I do. And what is going to help me be that artist is socializing, people knowing what I do. By trade, I am a graphic designer. Graphic design is what I do. Graphic design is what I love. I've been doing it for over 15 years. As of late, I haven't had the best of luck getting the clients I like, getting the clients I want. So I've diverted towards some other avenues, i.e. retail, and I hate it and I want out. And so this is just me expressing, open my mouth out loud and saying, put me where I need to be, universe. Put me where I need to be, God. We're going that route. So in this, one thing I did want for this channel is pretty much to be atypical. I do not want to be the typical YouTube reviewer, show reviewer. I don't want to do that. I also don't want to do I'm not going to do the whole makeup thing. As you all see, that's kind of like dead and dying. But pretty much this is just going to be a flow for whatever comes to spirit, but also maybe you all see some things that maybe I could be very great at, and something that I might be very well at achieving. Hey Xavier, how are you? Um, but yeah, this is pretty much like a little introduction, little chit chat. Um, and then yeah, This is my little introduction here, not too much. I was going to try, I don't know if I'll be able to get any of you guys up here. Let me see. Invite guest, copy. I think I might be able, if you guys, if you all do want to come up here and share, here's the link. If you guys have any ideas, did you get your certificate as a minority owned business? I'm starting the process next month. Well, just last month, I did get my LLC for my business. I have done that. So I have taken the step in the right direction. Um, Now it's getting everything. Um, well, you know what about that minority owned? I don't even know if that will work in my state because I'm in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Florida. So I don't know if that's gonna work, if that's gonna bode too well on my end. I do know one of the objectives I do have for my business is to become 8A certified. I have worked on pitch decks for government contracts before. I did work with a friend of mine, and we did actually end up getting a contract for Fulton County, and we did some work for them. But becoming 8A certified, that will allow me to go for like those main government contracts. And due to the removal of a lot of affirmative action, DEI programs, and things of that nature, it's it's one of those things where you have to be very, very smart and tactical on how to navigate that field when you are a minority owned business. But yeah, I have taken the steps in getting my business license. I have an LLC, and the next thing I know I want to do typical marketing stuff, logo, website, um and I know the vision I have for that, but of course that's going to evolve over the years. But I think you guys should be able to click that link and join possibly. If you guys do want to come up and share a little bit of anything. Um, I do, I would say I do have some opinions on some things. I know for those of you all who haven't been keeping up, the Gigi and Prophet Lovey situation. For people who don't know Prophet Lovey, he is, I guess you would say he's prominent. I just come to know of him last year. I never heard of the man before. I don't really keep up with like prophets and stuff like that. I don't. That's not what I do. And personally, I don't really subscribe to a lot of double standards, if you will. I'll keep it at that. Last At the end of last month, going into the new year, we have this lady by the name of Gigi. She comes out with this information. Yeah, Xavier, him. She comes out with this information, um, saying they were pretty much in an entanglement, and she's detailed some things, it, but she's trying to give it like this spiritual angle that isn't really quite hitting because she fails to go into the spiritual angle, which honestly is leading me down the path of you're hurt that you got played. And that's an unfortunate situation. It's happened to the best of us. But ma'am, you need to dust yourself off and just try again. That's the best advice I can give. I get it. He promised you things. He That's the thing. He is a great orator. He's a great orator. I'm going to give him that. That's the thing about a lot of people who can't command a great audience. They speak very, 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 very well, and they speak very convincingly. So I can see where he has told, I can believe that he told her certain things and promised her certain things. And well, she's alleging that they did date a while. I remember in one portion of one of her videos, she did try to say that they only became intimate one time. I called BS on that. And it later on came out not too long ago. And when with the video she just updated, she pretty much is now admitting it was more than one time, because you can't get me to believe that it was one time before his wedding day, and then in that one time you got pregnant. I don't believe that. And that is where you get to the emotions coming into play, and the spiritual angle she's trying to attach to it is just not working. This just looks like a no good ninja played you. He played in your face. Um, Xavier, a lot of these pastors nowadays, a lot of these new age pastors, they are performers to me also. They're great speakers, they're great performers, they're great entertainers. Because a lot of the things that they do, a lot of the things that they say, it's it falls in line with a lot of secular stuff. It falls completely out of line with what the Christian doctrine preaches. It goes head first into pagan practices. And as someone who isn't religious, as someone who has indulged in pagan practices, I see it. And they try to cloak it as something Christian, but it's not. It's not. But Gigi, it's obvious her end game is to hurt him, hurt his marriage, his family, destroy his church, because she's upset. And I understand why she's upset, because if we're going to go by the timeline that she laid out, her really being with him even after he got married, which was in September, his new wife has a baby in November. And then come December, they're taking and posting images of their new family for the holidays. Yeah, she pissed. She's fired. She's pissed. And I get it. I totally understand. But the spiritual angle she's trying to lay on it's not working. It's not working. We see it. Hello, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
I can't hear anything.
I cannot hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
No. Oh goodness. Is it your
Okay, I can hear you now. I see you too.
oh goodness. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Oh, let me see. Okay,
Isn't
can you
let me
hear
see
me?
if it's me.
We're figuring this thing out.
Input, audio, output. Hello?
Yep, can you hear me?
Okay, now I got you. That was
Yeah,
me.
we're
Okay.
trying to figure it out.
But how are you today? Thank you for
I
coming
am
on.
good. I'm good. Look, welcome to YouTube officially, I guess. No, you have
Yeah.
videos from before.
Yeah. I've done one live with everyone. We did our makeup together, and then I uploaded one Love and Marriage Huntsville video.
Okay.
When I saw it going downhill very, very early,
Uh-huh.
that's when I checked out of it. Yeah.
I understand completely. I understand completely. Yeah, I just came back to YouTube. I was on YouTube a while ago and then I just came back to YouTube. But I was doing good for about 2 weeks. I was being consistent,
Hmm.
but now mm-mm. I
Yeah,
I figured out I enjoy watching YouTube more than making
doing
videos
it.
because by the time I watch Really Big or El Teddy or I'm just like I don't feel like actually making my own content. So we gonna work on it though. But I'm
That's
glad you should do your graphic design on live and let people see the process.
that's one thing I do plan to do in the future, even just talk about my whole journey in it. And even bring up my friend and we just discuss what we went through from clients to going through the whole RFP process.
Hmm.
We were fresh. I remember us being fresh out of college. We didn't know what in the world we were doing, and we dove head first into trying to get government contracts. So,
Yeah. And as a black woman, it's different.
hmm.
It's completely different in any industry.
Hmm.
So yeah. I mean that's just a suggestion. You do, of course it's your channel. But that's just I know you were saying you didn't quite know how to incorporate, but that's one way. And I'm in tech. And so I
Hmm.
watch a lot of black people in tech for that reason to see like what's your journey? Am I gonna, can I figure out, a kind of a way around certain situations and things like that. Um, and so we need it just as black women, you know, professionally, there's not a lot of people out there helping us.
That's true.
And that's just so.
Yeah, I
But
was
yes,
worried about that also. Like when starting this, are you going to be able to sustain it? Because you do have to be consistent. That's the name of the game with YouTube. Really, that's the name of the game with any social media platform, the consistency. And that's one of those things where I'm just going to have to push through. Of course, not forcing myself to do something. Like if I can't physically do it, don't do it. But also just knowing, hey, you got to post something. You
hmm
got to do something,
yeah,
even if it's not a big something. A little something is better than nothing.
yeah. And uh, with me with YouTube right now, I don't I'm not looking for YouTube for income. So for me it's not I'm not trying to really grow my channel. Actually, I'm
Hmm.
losing us, like I'm people are dropping um a lot. And that's okay because those who are supposed to hear, they'll hear it. The people who are supposed to watch, they'll watch. So, with me not wanting it to be in a stream of income, it's just, when I feel like sharing, then I'll share something. Then, that's so that makes it a little different. Yeah, I want to be in the algorithm, but the people who are looking for me will find me.
I want to be in the algorithm, but then I also understand the game. Pretty
Hmm.
much, if you weren't here in the early stages of YouTube, like the Jackie Inas, the oh god, it's so many to name. I can't even think of them. But if you weren't there in its early origins, really building up your platform like that, it's you're really doing you're really playing catch up. And
Mhm.
so if I know if I do come in it from that angle of this is going to be my another source of income, I know I'm going to get deterred very easily. So if I just look at it as an outlet to share, promote, engage, I believe I'll have a better result. I won't get too frustrated too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was monetized and was doing pretty well, as far as a side hustle. I couldn't make YouTube my main job by
Mm-hmm.
any stretch of the imagination. But I was doing anywhere from like $300 a month to $1,000 a month. And I left YouTube because I just got to the point I had to keep the chase and putting out content and
Mm-hmm.
and it was like it stifled my creativity because I had to put out whatever was hitting the algorithm. So it's kind of a catch 22.
And that was the thing with me. Um, Staying in the algorithm, but then what also I know about me is I know I can create my own lane and YouTube will follow
Okay.
it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing with YouTube is it's a great place if you have something unique and you know that that's what you want to stick with, then it's great because yes, the algorithm will catch up with you. But for me, I want to talk about everything. Some days I'm doing planners, and my last video was talking about my credit score. So I mean, and there's everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do one about my. I just got my ancestry results, and child, that is something else. Like I predicted it without predicting what came out of it. I don't know. Like when I mailed it, I was
Mm-hmm.
joking and I said something jokingly on the video, and I was like, "That won't happen, child. That happened." But anyway, yeah, well, that's a whole nother conversation. So, yeah, it's been a week. Um, so going back to this Gigi chick. Now she got played, and she's
She got
upset, and she
played.
wants to tell the world and make him out to be the bad guy, but he did what men do.
That's the unfortunate part. And I can agree with others who are like, hey, this is supposed to be a man of a higher status and therefore he is held to a higher standard and he shouldn't have been engaging in that activity. I'm going to 1000% agree with you, but I also have to say this. um Technically he was a single man
Mm-hmm.
and he was operating in the realm of a single man. Honestly, when I first laid eyes on him, the first thing that came to my mind was horror.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it all over him.
Yeah. Me
So
too. To me, that's how he comes off. He comes off as a pulpit pimp. And
yeah,
I've been around plenty of pulpit pimps.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but the young lady got played, and again, I understand she was involved with him in many ways, and she can play that we only had sex one time, but ma'am, no, you didn't, which is really hard, which is really the reason why you were even more emotionally involved with him, number one, and number two, why you continue to involve yourself with him even after learning he was engaged, even after knowing he was married.
Yeah. And I heard somebody say one time that men are visual and women are audio. So men, when they see something and it's attractive, they can fall in love just based on what they see. Women
Absolutely.
fall in love based on what we hear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how men are able to get into your ear and whisper all these sweet nothings, which are really nothings, and then they're they lie and all of that. So with him having the gift of gab that he had, plus having the platform and the power, and I'm assuming he got some money.
Yeah, they were
She
tripping all
fell
over the
head over
world.
heels thinking that she was going to be the one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um,
There ain't
we
no telling what that man said.
he from what she was saying, I can surmise that he was promising her the sun, the moon, and the stars in the future.
Hmm. I can
Because
believe it.
this latest video, she started to come against the wife, and I was like, oh, so now we know. Now we really up what everyone was surmising. You just confirmed. You thought you were supposed to be in her position, which is why you're not saying, oh well, Maggie knows. A lot of women know, but a lot of women who are in Maggie's position are not going to let go. They have money, they have status, they have influence, and according to her, you're a whore. You're one of many.
Yep. And a lot of first ladies will put up with. It's almost like
Absolutely.
they have a first lady support group that teaches them how to deal with whatever. Get a bag, get this out of him. He cheat. Oh well, do this. Get you a new hat. I don't know, but it just seems like they all have this acceptance. I couldn't be in the first ladies club. It couldn't be me.
I couldn't do it either, but I see the first lady as no different as someone who is the wife of a politician, the wife of a very prominent, wealthy businessman. These women are going to put up with a lot of things just to
Mhm.
sustain that lifestyle. And they are also going to view any woman who her husband is attached to as some little slut. They don't take you seriously.
Yep.
They
Yep.
see you as someone who is greedy yourself because you know that he's not single, yet you're still here.
Mhm. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Look. I just noticed that the comments are right there.
Hmm.
I'm catching up.
But
And
yeah,
yeah,
it,
you said politicians. I think about Hillary Clinton. Hillary was like, "I
absolutely.
don't
She's
care.
not going to
I ain't
divorce
going
that
nowhere."
man.
I think
She
about
was married
I
to
care about
one of
that
the most
woman.
powerful men in the world. She's a fool to divorce him.
Yep.
And where are the rest of the women? Nowhere.
Hmm. Yeah. So I
Monica
guess
managed to
Maggie
get a little
over there
reverse.
like whatever.
Right. Monica managed to get a
I got
little
what you
reverse.
want.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
the same difference. So, yeah, mama, Gigi, you need to go get whatever spiritual cleanse you need to get that man up off of you, because obviously he's still fresh on you, which is why you coming to us with this mess. And apparently it's
Hmm.
supposed to be a part 4. I don't know how much more she can tell us,
Listen,
but
I'm
we
so
did.
sick of these Risa Tisa wannabes. Uh, Between her and Royce, and I'm like, look, just give it to us all at one time. Ain't nobody got time to keep coming back and watching another part and another part. And yeah, Risa Tisa, she
I didn't even
started
watch
something with that them 900 episodes.
I didn't even watch Risa Tisa. I watched a YouTube video that summarized all of that. I was not gonna go through that. I was not
Hmm.
gonna go through that. But
I
again, it's
watched all the
just
parts.
I do follow one spiritualist on Instagram, and I started following her on YouTube, and she was just like, "Listen, men like to get women emotionally attached, and what
Mhm.
you as a woman have to do, and what helps out is if you can't disconnect yourself from them emotionally, how you can do things to keep up with them mentally is like write down stuff, write down what
Mhm.
they say." And
Yeah.
sit back and observe and see if what they're doing matches up with what they say.
Yeah. I'm a heavy advocate for journaling. And sometimes those journals will, if you go back and read it, you'll see the signs and the links
Mhm.
based on what you've noticed that people have said or done, that it's like, there's something here that's not right. So
Mhm.
Xavier said, according to some people, Hillary was having her own affairs. Was it with men or with women? How long did their affair last? That's a
Some
good question.
I think it lasted some years.
Oh, I don't know.
Cause this newest one, she's talking about someone had sent them some information about him allegedly marrying Maggie in 2017 in some hotel room, and nobody know about it. So she's been with that man uh, from
Also, she really thought they was going together real bad in her mind.
yeah, yeah,
And men can they can sleep with people and not attach. Women, unless you are a certain type of woman,
yeah. We attach.
women can't do that.
Yeah,
Unless
that's
you,
why
I
a
hate to
lot
say
of
it, but unless
people.
you're a straight up hoe,
Yeah,
you can't.
unless you're
There's no
someone who
way.
already knows the situation you're entering into and knows what you want the situation to be,
Hmm.
usually we attach.
Right. Yeah. Women just naturally attach. So she attached. I told you I've been there. Child, I have been there. If I could tell you the story, but I would not
I've
put it on
had
the YouTube.
I've had marriage sold to me. I've had marriage and a family sold to me from a guy that I knew deep down it wasn't going to work. That it wasn't going to work out. I knew it. I would sit back and I would listen to some of the things. Culturally, we were different. We were not going to be aligned in a marriage, and it was going to end up in flames. But I stayed in it until it was physically torn apart.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
a literal distance tore us apart. If
Wow.
it wasn't for that, I would have stayed right with that crap, knowing it wasn't gonna work out. And I'm pretty sure Gigi
Mhm.
had those same signs. Well, of course she had the same signs because eventually she learned that he was not a single man, but she continued to be with him.
Yeah, I had one that I was, and this was in the church. He was an elder in the church. And I I was saved then, like long dresses, long skirts saved then. I wouldn't have had my earbobs on and
Hmm.
stuff. Super saved. So I didn't sleep with him. I wouldn't even hold his hand because I didn't want, I was for real saved. Um, he proposed to another woman in the church on the altar. I was like on the third row. When I say I was devastated, I was devastated because he was telling me all the right thing. But let me tell you how God protects babies and fools, because um, his ex-wife ended up being diagnosed with full-blown AIDS. I dodged that bullet. I don't know if because I left the church. I don't know if he ended up with it, if the other wife, but I didn't want to be in that course of worry or whatever. And not saying that AIDS is a death sentence. It's not.
Hmm. But
I have
nonetheless,
friends,
he
but
wasn't protecting her.
it's not something that I want. It's not something
Absolutely.
that I want to. It's not a cross I want to bear. So yeah, I dodged that entire thing. I'm so glad I did not fall into, you know, well, we get married anyway, so let's go ahead and because
Yeah.
God, we fall for that line. God told me you was my wife. And if you hearing that from a prophet,
Yeah, that
that holds some weight. And they just be lying on God.
lying. Like I said, like, okay,
Baby, yes, AIDS.
I follow psychics. I've gotten psychic readings. To me, that prophet. calling yourself a prophet and calling yourself a psychic is one and the same. And a lot
It
of the
is.
stuff that those prophets are saying, a lot of those psychics have been saying. I would not doubt that they're taking those psychics predictions and coming back and regurgitating them.
Hmm. Oh, what you call it got caught doing that.
Who?
Brian Carn. Brian Carn went on, I guess he went on YouTube and he done found a video. And this was some years back. And on New Year's Eve, it was like the psychic had predicted everything that was going to happen the following year. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently he went on YouTube and found that video and he almost word for word at a New Year's Eve service predicted that was what was going to happen in the following year. Girl, yeah, that was Brian Carn. That was you can find it on YouTube because people made videos about it. Like a lot of people made videos and they actually showed like this is what the psychic said, this is what he said, like word for
Oh
word.
wow.
The actual clips.
I'm telling you, like I
Hmm.
listen to some of the stuff those prophets say, and I follow psychics on YouTube, and I even follow astrologers, and some of that stuff does
Me
end up
too.
coinciding with one another. And I listen to what that prophet says, and I'm like, that's what these people are saying. But you want to say that it's different because it's from God. How do you know God didn't tell them
Yeah,
that
we
by
don't
just
know
through the
where it's
stars?
from. We don't know where it's from.
Yeah, I'm just leery of those, and then sometimes they speak so vague and general. I'm like, I could have gave someone that.
Hmm. Exactly.
You been through something and
Exactly.
you coming out of something. Well, okay, so are you? I just got an overdraft fee. You saying that gonna get fixed? Like, what does that mean? It's so
Yeah.
vague. It's so general. Everyone is going through something and coming out of something. Be
Either you
specific.
going either you going into it, you in it, or you coming out of it at all times. I see a storm around you. It's like
Or a
it's
hurricane on
always
the go. What do you mean? I am in
it
Florida. What do you mean?
exactly. It's always some kind of a storm. Yeah, give me something specific. Give me some names, some dates. Tell me exactly because when you look at the biblical prophets, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but girl, I had to come up and just chat with you for a minute. God is gonna fix this just for you. Hmm. Exactly. But
Yeah.
you
I
know what?
drove this car.
I will say this. I was at a service one night. I just told my husband this story a couple days ago. I was at a service one night, and Prophet Todd Hall, who is Aaron Hall and Damian Hall from Guy, he's their brother.
Okay.
I was in a service one night. This was years ago, probably about 22 years ago, I'm thinking,
Hmm.
something like that. Um, Maybe even longer than that, maybe about 25 years ago. But I was in this service, and now he's a prophet, but he said, God said, give $100. You know how they do them $100 lines, the $50 lines, the 500. So I got in $100 line,
Never a
and that
dollar.
night
Never
I
50
gave
cents.
my yeah, they really don't do 50s anymore. That was when I was young. Keep in mind this was like 25 years ago. But I got in $100 line and I gave my last $100. And when I got home that night, there was no cell phones then. But I felt like I need to call my bank. Girl, I called the bank and somebody to this day, I still don't know who or how it happened, but there was like $600 in my bank account. So I get in the car, no, I like because there's no cell phones and I had just
Mhm.
dropped my friend off. So I get back in my car and drive to her house to tell her about this deposit. That's to this day, I still say it was miraculous. And then About 2 days later, 3 days later, I got a knock on the door. I had to sign for a certified package, or it was a certified envelope.
Mhm.
It was a check for some thousands. And then I was getting out of the Navy around that time. So yeah, it was 25 years ago. I was getting out of the Navy around this time, and I had to go to the ship. I left the ship with about $1,800 cash in my pocket. All of that off of $100 seed. But I think it was just the time. I won't say that it was necessarily the profit. It was more so the time. But yeah, so sometimes things happen. Can't always say that mm, that I just believe and I always give, because child, I don't even I go to church seldom now.
Mhm.
Very my I've experienced a lot of things that made it change, you know. So yes, now it's me and God. It's not me and church.
I still think there's some good churches out there. It's just people
There
having
are-
to really use their discernment. For me, from where I come from, I haven't been to church in God knows how long. But for me, I'm comfortable in a smaller congregation. I could never do a mega church.
Yeah,
When I
I
see mega
watch
churches,
church
I see
online.
that as a full official business, and these people are here to turn a profit and make money. And granted, all
Absolutely.
churches are in that, because you do have to keep the lights on. Pastor does get a salary. You do have to maintain the structural integrity of the church, like the physical. But I understand it. I'm not opposed to that. But
Mhm.
like, I couldn't be a part of a Potter's house. I
Yeah.
couldn't be a part of Eddie Long, not New Birth. I couldn't be a
Yeah.
part of that. I couldn't be a part of Creflo Dollar's church. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. I I feel you. I like a mid-sized church, not a mega church, but not too small, because too small. That's how I ended up on the third row with that dude proposing to somebody else. And I was so embarrassed and hurt, and oh, it was horrible, because everybody knew that
Mhm.
I I thought we were dating. Um, anyway, so look, so what you think about this whole Twitch thing?
I have a multitude of thoughts and emotions. Okay. So we have a situation where it's typical after a family member dies. Everybody's at odds. Everyone's true feelings about one another have started to come out. And for me, the widow is less than smart. She's a dummy.
She's a evil dummy.
And for that reason right there. So I can give her grace and say towards the end of her marriage, well, towards the end of his life, their marriage wasn't peaches and cream. I can give that the juice turned sour. I can give her that. I can give her that what they portrayed online wasn't what we have in our minds. I can give her that, because that's nothing new. We see it all the time.
Mhm.
Where she messed up was the diary entry. Not
Exactly.
everyone, the diary entry and the exposing of the drugs. Not everyone is coming for her neck, because people did not know Twitch is that. See, if
Mhm.
it was like a
Yeah,
Whitney Houston thing where everyone and their mama knows this person is an addict, and posthumously people coming out with stories of her in her addiction, you won't
mhm,
get too much of a blow, because hey, it's what addicts do, it's what crackheads do. She was doing crackhead shit, so
mhm.
okay, whatever. No one knew Twitch as a crackhead. No one knew Twitch as a dope fiend, a drug addict.
But
So
how are you
you
a drug addict who dies with no drugs in your system?
maybe he was clean for a week or two. We don't know. Maybe he was trying to get clean,
Maybe, but
but she shouldn't have told us that.
with that,
And that's
it's
the issue.
exactly.
She shouldn't have told us that.
None of it makes sense. And then why would you tell that he had been sexually abused by a
And
man?
that is what's
He ain't
also
told
giving the
nobody.
blowback.
So if he wanted to take it to his grave, then why you pulling it out the grave?
And that,
You
and
want to
again,
dig it up.
that is what is giving her the blowback. If she's talking about she's wanted to help someone, it does not help someone outing them while they are dead. Again, that's a part of the desecration and disrespect of the dead that she's getting the blowback for. And she's such a dummy. She did not think this out,
Here's a dummy.
because she really could have just straight up said, hey, I would have given her grace if she said, hey, towards the end of his death in our marriage, we really weren't in a great place and he was dealing with a lot of demons. I don't think
Yeah,
nobody would have cried about that. I
but
don't think
and
nobody would have given her the business about that, because we weren't in their marriage. So we can't say. But her
mhm,
doing that is now portraying to the world, oh, you an evil bitch who's getting her get back.
yep. I just think if she was going to write a memoir, she should have kept it about her. And if she
Absolutely.
wanted to incorporate their marriage, what she went through during, during his death, that that would have been just fine. But she knew that wouldn't sell and it wouldn't make money. So she had to put in his salaciousness, and I don't even his salaciousness that I don't even believe. I don't believe that Twitch was an addict. And if he was, it ain't none of my business because I never saw that. Why taint his memories?
That's the
I don't
thing.
know. He never came out and said he was sexually abused by a man or a woman. So why am I supposed to believe you even if you say you have a diary? You might have written it with your left hand to make it look like it's his writing. We
It,
don't
it
know
wasn't
where that came from.
it wasn't a good move. People know Twitch as one way, and pretty
Mhm.
much what you have now started to do was taint the perception is reality, and the reality is he was a happy, fun-loving guy, and now you
Mhm.
want to come out here and paint him as this troubled drug addict who was sexually molested and fucked up. No one likes that.
Mhm.
No
Meanwhile,
one likes
she's
and then
she was out here while he was living. She was out here with Emmanuel Ocho
and
doing
that
it.
again, that goes to her motives. Why are you doing this? Because no one would have gone out, and now they're digging up the past and they're showing images of you with other men. Not too long after he dies, people are now saying you changed your name within 48 hours after he dies. You're no longer carrying
Mhm.
boss, and then you're
And took
doing
off her
X, Y,
rent
and
too.
Z, forcing family members to sign NDAs for a funeral. So stuff like this does not bode well for her, and she has to be a
Mhm.
dummy to not see that this would not bode well.
Yeah, uh-uh. I gotta find my other cord because I got my short one. Hold on a second. Here I come.
Xavier, you know who else left a note and we ain't heard? Whitney. She left a note to Brandy allegedly, and we don't even know what that note is. I don't believe
Child. I
he
saw
did
her
not
hand
tell her
Brandy
in
that
life.
note. I don't know what's in it.
If he didn't tell her in life to talk about, if in life he didn't talk about his personal demons, he didn't talk about it to his family. Why are you now going out and blasting them? And that's so hard and damaging to talk about someone's abuse in that manner. Their family doesn't know, and what is very obvious,
Mhm.
her and the family were never that close, which is why they feel comfortable coming out and saying they're doing what they're doing. They were never that close, and again, it does not bode well.
Yeah.
Perception is
Awesome.
reality, and I don't know who her PR people are, but she and whomever else decided to put this together are a whole bunch of dummies, dummy bitches, dummies.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I agree. Not. I don't want to say I'm excited, but I'm interested in the interview that Mims is doing tonight with his best friend.
I might watch it.
So
I
I did
might.
watch the live that he did, and that kind of it was a little annoying to watch, but I watched it. So I want to see what he's gonna say tonight with that interview.
I think the truth with the family and her is somewhere in the middle. I can
Hmm.
see, um, I can, I can, I could definitely see her doing something. Like, let's be clear, if he was doing it, he wasn't doing it alone.
Hmm. Yeah.
But if she's not close to his family, I can see possibly maybe he wasn't that close to his family, and the only reason she even had a connection to his family was because of him. And so now that he's gone, there's no reason to even stick around and pretend.
Yeah.
Um,
But then you have the kids, and
and that's, yeah, that's the other aspect.
that's the connector right there. And I do hope that they can find some common ground for the sake of the kids, because kids not knowing family, not having the support of the other side of the family, no
Hmm.
matter how much we think it doesn't impact them, I think it really does impact them.
It does. It does. There is a genetic, like DNA tie that some people just know if a part of their family is missing or if they don't belong in the family. Like they just
Mhm.
innately know through their genetics.
Yep.
And I don't know what those kids are experiencing or not experiencing, but it could be a piece of them that maybe do long for that connection that they're not getting.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that was another thing for me, like her telling that to the world about him as a child. And I'm like, hold on, ma'am. Like, that's a lot. And then it don't help that a daughter done went and got out here and talking about, oh, well, Twitch's stepfather committed suicide. And I was like, hold on.
That's
What
right.
are we doing?
That is none of our business. If he didn't tell us, you don't have any business telling us. And you are a kid. Like
It was,
she said what her mom and her mom's PR people
and they're
let her
dummies.
say. They are. But I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't like anything about any of it. I don't. I really don't.
A bunch of dummies.
I
All
don't
of them.
I don't like any of it. I want, for the sake of those babies, for them to find some kind of common ground. But I do want her to not put that book out. That book
Absolutely.
needs
Stop
to
it.
needs to burn in the pit of hell and never to be seen. And you know how the internet will can be wiped of, you know, everything, every interview she's done, every reference to that book, it needs to just go away.
Absolutely.
Biden needs to push
Absolutely.
a red button and make that stuff go away. And she needs to just be okay with it. Not Biden. Whoever. I don't know who scrubs the internet of stuff when the internet gets scrubbed, but whoever that is, they need to scrub the internet of all of this. I hate it.
If she's claiming she's trying to help how she claims she's trying to help, well, I want you to put your money where your mouth is, and 100% of the proceeds of that book and whatever else attached to it goes to whatever charity that you're talking, and not the charity you call yourself setting up with
Mhm.
Twitch. We already know No, ma'am. No, give it to someone who's not affiliated with you. If you
Yeah.
say
And
what you say, if you say, claiming what you claiming, you're doing it for.
yeah, I work with a lot of mental health advocates, and I don't know any mental health advocates that would say that putting somebody's business out there who is deceased would help anybody's mental health in any way.
It doesn't, and you're going in very, very, very graphic details.
Hmm.
If
Yeah,
anything, that's triggering.
I don't know one mental health professional that would say that this is going to be healing for anybody, including her.
It's not
It's
going.
it's not happening.
I
She's
see it.
lying.
She's crashing and she's burning. And I know
And
there are some people who want
I'll
to
sit here
add
with
the
my popcorn and watch her crash and burn.
I know some people want to add the white wife aspect on it. Them
I don't
white
care
women
what color
eating
she
her up
is.
too. The white people are eating her up too. This ain't this ain't no, this ain't a black thing. This is not a white thing. This is a disrespecting the dead thing.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah,
that
and
don't go
she'll get
well
it.
in no culture.
Karma is real, and karma always comes back, and she is going to pay exactly what's owed. So, oh, we'll just
Absolutely.
sit and wait. You said she's gonna crash and she's crashing and burning. I'm just gonna sit here with my popcorn and watch her crash and burn. So, but girl, look, I'm gonna get. I think I'm gonna hop down. We've been on here for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be up here that long.
I
Um,
know, but I wanted to come up one just to kind of welcome you back to YouTube, and then also I know what it's like, when you feel like you're out here talking to yourself and nobody's commenting and nobody is. So I just wanted to offer that support too. So I
thank
wish you
you.
all the best on this YouTube journey. And look, if you need help, I don't know how much help I can be at this stage,
Mm,
but my information about YouTube would be old and stale because I left for like 4 years
uh,
and then came back about a month ago. So my information is gonna be old and stale, but I don't mind helping or collaborating or whatever you need.
thank you. I
Yeah,
will
baby. I'm
up
praying
to the
for the kids too.
yeah, yeah.
Even that 16-year-old, I'm praying that she will get right back in her place, in a 16-year-old's place, so
Don't
that
click the
she can
live
be
again.
protected. Because I think there are only some people like Mims that will say, let's keep in mind that she is still a child, but
But
the
she
internet
stepped in adult
is
shit.
a
So
dangerous
that's
place.
that's the hard part. You don't send a child out here to do your dirty work, ma'am.
Hmm.
Using your child as a shield.
Yeah,
Again,
unfortunately,
dummy,
people do it.
a dummy, a dummy, a plain old ordinary dummy.
I know. So, I mean, all we can do is pray for the babies. It, I don't have nothing for her. I hate to say it, but I don't have anything for her. I don't have a prayer to offer her.
I don't have one either. I just have a good luck. Hope you can survive.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Let karma work it out. Have the life you should have the day you should have, all of that good stuff. So, but I'm gonna jump down. I'm still here. I'm looking to see what button I have to do. I think it's the red button to get
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
All right, thanks. And
Thank
I'll look.
you.
I'll be in the chat. Nope, that's not the right button.
I know I have it. I think you just exit out. Yeah, I think you just close the browser. Yeah. All right, guys. I have the link in the chat if any of you all want to come up here as well. If not, I won't have to stay up here any longer. But yeah, those are just, but yeah, those are just some of the immediate topics that I have been stewing on these past few days. The Prophet Lovey situation and the Twitch and his wife. But yeah, that's the other part about this content thing. If you don't stay up on it, and we're in this, I would say less than 24-hour news cycle, because if the way information circles in and out, if you're not on top of it at the very moment it comes out, you're almost like shit out of luck. But those stories that do continue to evolve and develop, you do get an opportunity to still talk about those. I know I saw Tracy in the chat earlier talk about small businesses as far as it goes with logo design for like startups, things of that nature, and just like walking me as I walk through like whole design processes. I'll definitely do something like that. Just go through my mind. I think that'll be very good. Just to showcase my entire conceptualizing of a piece of work. That is one thing that I'm very strong in, conceptualization of different brand marks, different print materials, things like that. That's where I really shine. But yeah, I know I was late coming in, so some people who were here when I said I was going to be here were already in the chat. But I was trying to get the hang of this crap, and it just decided to start working at the last minute, even though I had it connected right. So some people have already dipped out. But if no one else wants to come up, I am going to end it right here. Thank you all so much for coming through. I will see you guys very, very soon. I think I said I was gonna go live tomorrow because this is like the last little bit of my PTO that I have. And I go back to work 7 days straight. So I'm trying to figure out in that stretch of time, where do I need to go and get something popping in between those time frames, just again to keep up. But if you guys don't have anything else to say, I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for coming out. And thank you, Tarshell, for hopping on. Really appreciate it. And I really appreciate everyone who decided to come through on my first official live. This will all evolve. One of the things I do want to do this year is move, and I'm looking to move to Texas. Looking, especially Houston. I'm looking to move to Houston. I think Houston won't be too much of a cultural and climate shock for me, because I'm coming from Florida and I live along the Gulf Coast. Texas, Houston is along the Gulf Coast, so I think I'll kind of be in a similar scenario. All right. Thank you all for coming out, and I will